Hello, 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 hello. That's what they say in Britain. That's what policemen say in Britain. Hello, 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 hello. Well, I'm not a policeman. My name is Lee Davey. I'm not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. Someone who doesn't drink alcohol. I spend every waking moment helping other people do the same. And I want to talk about something that Julian said on the intensive. Yes, Julian, you're starring in several podcasts today. And Julian said that there's a part of the intensive that we work a whole week on something called institutionalism, which is something that I picked up from Melanie Joy in her great book, Why We Don't Eat Dogs, Where Cows and Eat Pigs. I don't know, you know the book I'm on about. And basically Melanie Joy is talking about how the institutions, like great institutions of our world, like our healthcare and our religions, etc., they actually form and help underpin these frameworks, these belief systems that we have. And our institutions actually underpin the belief system that alcoholism is alcohol is normal and pleasurable, and alcoholism is a byproduct of drinking too much alcohol. Okay, so I believe that alcoholism is an invisible, violent and dominant belief system, and that once you understand that, you won't want to drink alcohol. But our institutions, okay, are set up to prevent you from believing those truths. All right, and that is what we work on during the awareness module of the intensive. So if you want to get involved in that, then just reply. Send me an email at thetruthboutalcohol@gmail.com and I'll point you in the right direction. Okay, so Julian's working on that at the moment, and one of the things he was working on today was the taste of alcohol. Right? No, was it the taste? No, it was the nobility that we believe that drinking alcohol is noble. Now this relates a lot more to men than it does to women, although unfortunately with the way the marketing industry is going, more and more women are starting to drink because they think it's noble. So for example, in the Welsh valleys, you know, we call women who drink a lot, you know, geezer birds or valley birds, you know, or valley girls or whatever, like, and they take great pride and great nobility in drinking as much as the men and fucking puking and fucking and doing all the things that men do that they shouldn't do when they drink too much alcohol. Well, women take great pride in that as well, okay? But invariably, when I see the homework assignments come in on nobility, it's normally the men who are like, yeah, fucking rock and roll. I used to think it was noble as fuck to drink as much as I can. You know, those fucking pussies in Italy and France who can't finish off a bottle of wine, fuck them. You know, we're fucking hardcore Brits, right? You know, that kind of thing. And Julian said, you know, he said, and I'm paraphrasing here, I've always thought that the whole wine industry was a load of bollocks, right? Now, I do too, Julian. I think the whole wine industry is a load of bollocks. Now, why do I think the wine industry is a load of bollocks? Well, long before I understood that long before I understood that the so-called quote-unquote great wine tasters of this world wouldn't know a fucking $2 chuck from a fucking 10 grand Chardonnay if you did a blind taste experiment. Long before I knew that, one of the reasons that I despised the whole fucking wine, sniff it, swill it around your mouth, spit it out, fucking talk about the old oak vanilla taste that fucking is on the back of your palate bullshit, is because I grew up raised a working class lad. And I grew up raised a working class lad that despised upper class people. And the wine drinking, tasting, fucking salivating industry is not geared up, it's not marketed to the working class, right? Why? Because we can't fucking afford wine. Alright? The only wine we can afford in the working class is going down the offie and buying 3 bottles of shit that you get in fucking flower vases for a tenner. Right? And that's what I used to drink. Okay? Now, because of that, because they don't market to the wine industry, the likelihood of the old prancy, snobbiness of the wine tasting industry is less likely to touch the working class than it is the upper class, in my opinion, right? However, something is happening right now that I'm very afraid of, right? Now, Seth Godin, who's one of the greatest marketers in the world, will tell you, and he does in his new book, his great book, This is Marketing, that marketing can be used for evil as well as it can be used for good. You know, and Seth talks in his book about cigarette manufacturers and marketers of cigarettes that get us to smoke cigarettes as being an evil form of marketing. Doesn't touch upon alcohol, by the way, but it does touch upon cigarettes. So I'll give you a B+ for that, Seth. Got to be a little bit wary because Seth has promised he'll be on the podcast in March, so let's keep friends with him for now. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. The working class is a massive, massive, massive pool of people when it comes to who drinks alcohol. All right, we probably drink fucking more of it than any other class, more than the middle class and more of the upper class put together, because it's invariably the working class or the lower class who have got all the problems in the world, who can't deal with life and are returning to alcohol as the answer to their problems. All right. Now, what I think the marketing industry has done in the alcohol marketing industry is they've looked at the efficacy of this fucking narrative that drinking wine and associating wine with taste and this whole wine tasting experience and actually going on a vacation so you can wine taste. I mean, I'm in California. You can't get a better place to go and walk around a fucking vinery with your mates drinking fucking wine all day and spitting it out and talking about the flavours and the aromas. I mean, how many of us, come on, be honest, how many of us have sat at a restaurant and the waiter comes along when you've ordered your bottle of wine and he takes the cork off and he gives you the cork? How many of you have sniffed it? Be honest. How many of you sniffed it and thought in your head, I'm not sniffing anything here except for wine? And then, though, you've turned around and said to him, yeah, that smells good, mate. And then he's tipped a little bit of wine in your glass. And how many of you have tasted it and thought, yeah, it tastes like wine? But you've said to him, that's lovely, keep on pouring. And how many of you have actually turned around and said, hey, mate, that tastes like piss. That doesn't taste like the vanilla and the 15-year-old oak fucking chia seed flavour that it said on the label. Can you take it back and bring me another bottle, please? Well, I've only ever seen that happen once in my life. Her name was Renita. I was in Malta. The guy came around, he poured the wine, she had a little taste and she said, I'm sorry, it tastes like piss. Can you take it back? I was fucking flabbergasted. Invariably, we don't do it. Why don't we do it? Because of status, right? We don't want to look like a knobhead in front of the waiter. So we just go through the whole fucking process thinking that we are somehow like, I don't know, we're in the know. Like, we're winking at him. Yeah, mate, we're in the fucking wine business. I spend fucking £100 on a bottle of wine. I know the difference between fucking wine. I taste the chia seeds in wine, right? But we think that because of the status, right? Now, the marketing industry understand the power of status. They understand that the working class can't get involved, can't get hooked. They can't hook the working class in this this mass beautiful narrative of wine. It works so well. Like, the wine industry is like $1 billion industry. Like, it hooks people, hook, line and sinker. So what they're doing now is they're creating real ale pubs, right? They're creating 1,500 different ways of drinking gin, right? Now, these two things that have risen up recently, gin, for example, has become the biggest seller of spirits in the UK. It surpassed vodka for the first time in fucking history. And the reason that is because the marketing geniuses, okay, have created these gin bars where you can go in now and you can have gin with sherbet dip. You can have gin with fucking rhubarb and custard. You can have gin with fucking cigarette ash. Whatever it is, you can have that concoction. So now, obviously, this is status thing. Let's go to the gin bar and taste all the different gins. And now alcohol and having a drink has taken on a whole new meaning. You're not just a barfly by the bar fucking drinking a fucking pint of shit, swilling, talking nonsense with your mate. You're in a fucking gin bar picking all these different gins and learning which ones are the best. Oh, what's the gin that you've had this week? Oh, well, I really like the Cola Cube flavoured gin. Oh, yeah, me? No, I like the espresso gin because I'm more of a bitter tasting person, me, right? And it's fucking flying. I said to my sister the other day, she fucking loves this shit. Even her kids knew that she was fucking drinking gin after gin after gin in these gin bars. But then you have the real ales. Now, I know this is a bigger problem than the gin bar. In Pontcanna, where I'm growing, instead of the local pub, you know, the old fucking Georgian Dragon that you used to go in, people are actually buying houses now and turning their houses into kind of like personal breweries. They're making an art out of it. They're saying that you know, they've got like 50 different ales that have all got these different flavours. People travel around the world with little bottles where they collect this shit and fucking keep it at home like a hobby, right? But the real ale industry and this pale ale industry and this fucking, look at this, taste this ale from Germany and taste this ale from Belgium, and all of a sudden what they're doing is they're preying on people's statuses. They're saying, people like us do things like this. People like us drink expensive, really strong, different ales from around the world because we are very expansive, fucking well-travelled, seasoned, fucking smart, intelligent, wealthy people, right? If you over there drinking your fucking pint of Hofmeister, right, you're not part of our gang. Like, you're just a fucking low scumbag, working class, fucking know nothing about beer. Me, I can't wait for the next cast to come through. So they're actually creating the wine industry narrative, okay, with and turning it into ales, so people like me, like the working class scumbags of the world, can afford this shit, and we get hooked into it. And it isn't going to be long before we are saying to each other, oh, what ale do you like to eat with your steak? What ale do you like to eat with your fucking fish and chips? What ale do you like to eat with your beans on toast? Because that is the way that it's going, okay? I'm here to tell you that it's all a load of fucking bollocks. When Julian turned around and said that the wine industry, the whole taste it, swill it, is a load of nonsense, and he's always thought it was a load of nonsense. Don't be fueled into thinking that the gin industry, okay, and the real ale industry is any different. It's all bullshit. And do you know why it's bullshit? Because you don't fucking drink alcohol because it tastes nice. As Julian said in the previous podcast, alcoholic drinks are nothing but a delivery system for alcohol. You drink alcohol because you are addicted to it. The taste doesn't even come into the equation. The reason that you tell yourself, okay, and you believe wholeheartedly, and I don't disagree that you don't, that real ales taste fantastic and the one from Belgium tastes a little bit better from the one from fucking Liverpool, and I've been there. I used to drink Hoegaarden and think that it was better than fucking Hofmeister, right? It is not the reason we drink. We drink because we're drug addicts, okay? We drink because we need that drug, and alcohol is a fucking drug. It's one of the top 5 most addictive drugs in the world. It's the reason why you're listening to this podcast or watching it. It's the reason that you can't stop. Look, please don't fool yourself thinking the reason you can't stop is because you fucking love that pale ale from Belgium. It's not the reason you can't stop. The reason you can't stop is because it's a drug and you're addicted to it, okay? But don't worry about it. We have the answer for you. Come over to The Truth About Alcohol. Take the taster. Starts every month. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Or just jump straight in the intensive like Julian did. Get stuck right into it and commit yourself to this thing for a year. My name is Lee Davey. I'm not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I'm someone that doesn't drink fucking expensive wine, cheap wine, real ales from Belgium, real ales from Northern Ireland, real ales from the fucking Manchester Ship Canal, and I don't drink 57 different shades of gin, and I help other people do exactly the same, which is not drink any of those things. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.